Good afternoon. Welcome to yoga class, the first one of the year. Hope you're all staying safe out there. We're gonna keep the class a little bit low key and not do a lot of breathing exercises today, obviously, because we're having the fires right now. The air quality isn't so great. So on days like that, you don't want to overwork the body. You don't want to do a lot of your breathing exercises. You just want to keep it a little low key and more restful. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm here for the next 5 weeks, and we'll have something new each time you come in. We're going to start with something pretty basic today, and then we'll add on every week as we go through the winter intersession. Okay, so glad you can join us. I'm Tamra Henna. This is my husband behind me, Nathan. So I'm going to be teaching the class. He's going to be modeling the poses so you can follow what he's doing. And remember that we are here every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. If you would like to join us live, that would be wonderful. If you can't, of course, these are also recorded so you can take the class later. But for now, let's get started. We're going to start today lying on our back in Shavasana. So Shavasana is corpse pose. It is our resting pose. And we'll come to this pose throughout the class and also at the end of class. So in Shavasana, you're lying flat on the back. The feet are as wide as the mat, with the toes dropping outward. The arms are away from the sides in a low V, and the palms are facing the ceiling. And keep your head also looking up towards the ceiling. However, you want to close your eyes. So this is a deceptively simple pose, because what we're trying to do here is let everything go. And in so much of our lives, we have to focus, we have to do. And in this pose, we want to not do. It's about letting go. So it's a very balanced pose so that all your muscles can relax and your body can melt into the floor. And the mind can relax. Letting go of all the cares of the day. This is your time to come into yourself, to come to your center, so that you can be refreshed to get the things done you need to get done at some point. But now it's your time. Letting everything go. And now gently bringing your awareness back into the room, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles. Roll yourself completely onto one side and press yourself up sideways to sit. And come to sitting up on a block. So when you sit on the block, have your sit bones, weight even on both sit bones, and the sit bones towards the front of the block. You can fold one foot in front of the other, as Nathan has done here. You can also sit in an easy cross-legged pose. But the trick is you want your hips a little bit higher than your knees, and that will allow you to get into a nice neutral spine. So in this position, we're just going to start with a little bit of movement. We're going to start by rotating the shoulders up and back, making big circles with the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back. Breathing evenly as you do so. And then we're going to reverse that circle, coming up and forward and down. Up, forward, and down. Even breaths. And release. Very nice. Clasp the hands in front of you. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms out, away from you. Exhale and round out the back. Inhale, take the arms over the head, looking straight forward. Reaching the hands up, exhale all the way down. Good. Inhale up. And exhale, bend to one side, bending to the right, folding at the waist. Keeping the weight on both sit bones. Inhale up through center. And exhale other side. Inhale up through center. And release the arms down. Exhale. From here, we're going to move into a simple twist, taking the right hand over to the left knee, on the outside of the left knee. Other hand is behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lengthen through the crown of the head. And exhale, twist, looking over that back shoulder. Keep your weight in both sit bones. Take a breath here. Exhale. And release to center. Nice. Other side, taking the left hand across the right knee. Other hand is behind you on tented fingers. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, looking back. Inhale. And exhale. And release to center. Very nice. Coming down off the block. Lengthen the legs in front of you. And roll the legs in and out, opening up the hips. Good. We're going to do flexing and pointing of the toes. So flex the feet all the way, flexing the feet all the way, and then point and flex, reaching out through the heels and point and flex and point, and one more, flex and point. Good. And release. Good. Coming to tabletop position, you can put something underneath your knees. So we use a piece of a yoga mat that we cut. You can also put a towel down underneath your knees for comfort. Your knees are underneath the hips and the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. We're going to do our cat-cow. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, belly to the spine, tucking the head and tail. Inhale through center, and then lift the head and tail slightly, tractioning your heart forward, lengthening into the arch. Exhale, belly to the spine, tucking the head and tail. Inhale through center, traction the heart forward, reach it forward, lift the head and tail slightly. And exhale, belly to the spine, tucking the head and tail. And one more set, lifting the head and tail, traction the heart forward, shoulders are down, away from your ears. Exhale, belly to the spine. And inhale, lift the head and tail. And release. Sitting back on the heels, rotate the wrists. Good. And we're going to come back to tabletop position and go into an open twist. So take your left hand underneath your heart and open your right arm up to the ceiling, looking up, reaching your arms in both directions, pressing down into the strong hand, reaching up with the top hand. And release down. Turn your fingers towards the center of your body, towards the center of the mat, and reach your original arm through. Reach it through, close twist, rest your head and your shoulder on the ground. Good. Pushing through the strong hand on the ground to come up. Come back to tabletop position, and we'll do the other side. Taking the right hand under your heart, open the left up to the ceiling. Reaching long in both directions. Good. And release. Take your bottom hand, turn the fingers towards the center of the mat, and reach that left arm through this time. Close twist. Shoulder and head are resting on the ground. Breathing slowly and evenly. Good. And to come out of the pose, press through that strong bottom hand and come up. Good. Sit on the heels one more time. Rotate the wrists again. And we're going to do a simple balance now. So come back to all fours, tabletop position. We're going to take the right leg back. And then you're going to lift it about hip height. Reach the left arm forward, over the head like Superman. Reach long in both directions. Take your lower abs and pull them towards your spine, keeping your spine in neutral. Reaching long, looking at the ground, and release down. Very, very good. And we're going to switch sides. Take the left foot back and lift. Take the right arm forward. Use your lower abs, come towards the spine. Good, and release it down. Sitting back on the heels and folding forward into child's pose. Take the knees slightly apart, lengthen the spine over the thighs, resting the head on the ground. Arms are by your sides, palms facing up. Letting everything go. Good. To come out of the pose, you're going to place your palms on the mat and support yourself as you roll yourself up to sit. Nice. The next pose we're going to go into is downward facing dog. So come to tabletop position again. Hands are nice and bright, spread wide, nice and flat. You want to make sure the base of that first finger, your index finger, is on the ground. Good. And place the entire hand down. So the four corners of the palm are touching the mat, and during this whole pose, you want to keep those hands like that. From here, you're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, and reach the hips back away from the hands. So you're making an inverted V shape. Ideally, you want your ears between your upper arms. And lengthening the back, reach the hips up and back. The heels are reaching towards the floor, but they're not touching the floor. If they are touching the floor, you might need to step back a little bit. And from here, you're going to pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other, reaching one heel down and then the other, opening the backs of the legs. Good. And then reaching both heels down and very gently lower the knees and rest for a moment in child's pose. Good, and we're going to come into the pose one more time. So come into our tabletop position. Make sure that first knuckle is on the ground. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, inverted V. Reaching the sit bones away from the hands. Reaching the heels towards the ground. From here, we're going to take our left leg into the air. Lift it straight up. Good. Reach it long, reach it away from the hands so it's in a nice long line between your heel and the hands. And lower the leg. And then take the other one up when you're ready. Reach it straight up. Good. Reach it long. And gently lower. And lower the knees. And again, resting in child's pose. Good. And to come out of this pose, we're going to place the palms on the mat. Support yourself as you roll yourself up. Good. So we've got a little bit of motion. We've opened up the back a little bit. And now we're going to open up the hips. So we're going to come into a low runner's lunge. We're going to get there from tabletop position again. So get into your tabletop position. And then take your right foot forward between your hands. Doesn't matter how easy you get there or not. Eventually it'll get easier. When you have them between your hands, then you're going to take the forearms up to the thigh. And then the hands up to the hips. Good. And we're going to come forward and back on that front leg. So you're bending and straightening into the front knee, and the knee never comes forward of the ankle. It goes straight forward, straight back, tracking nice and smoothly. And so we're opening up the front of that back leg. Good. Come to the front part of the lunge, knee is over the ankle. And again, rest on your forearms. We're going to lift that back knee. So tuck the toes, lift the knee and reach the heel back. Good. Gently lower the knee. And we're going to lift it up one more time. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, reach the heel back. Good. And gently lower the knee again. Very nice. So Nathan took away his support here, but this is a good thing to have underneath your knee still. Good. So from here, we're going to go into a full crescent lunge. Take your arms, reach them forward and straight up to the ceiling. Lift the eyes slightly. Good. And reach the heart forward and up. Very good. And slowly bring them down. Very nice. Taking that front leg back to tabletop position. You can open and close it a couple times just to loosen up the hip. And then we're going to take the other foot forward between the two hands. Good. So find a lunge that's comfortable for you where you have a little bit of stretch on the back thigh, but it's not too much. Good. When you're there, you're going to take the forearms to the thigh and the hands to the hips and come forward and back. Remember, the knee never goes forward of the ankle. The lunge is the knee directly over the ankle. Good. And coming to the forward part of the lunge, rest the hands again. We're going to tuck those back toes and lift the back knee, reaching the heel back away from you. And gently lower the knee. And again, lifting the knee, reaching the heel back. And gently lowering and coming into our full crescent lunge now, reaching the hands forward, straight up to the ceiling. Lift the eyes slightly and reach the heart forward and up. Good. And gently coming down, bringing the front knee back to tabletop. Open and close the thigh a couple times. And when you're ready, we're going to come to Shavasana, our first pose, lying on the back. The feet are as wide as the mat, toes falling out. Arms are away from the sides with the palms facing the ceiling. Letting everything go. Bringing your awareness back into the room. We're going to set up for a bridge pose. So bring your soles of your feet onto the flat on the floor, just underneath your sit bones. You should be able just to touch your heels with the tips of your fingers, and your feet are as wide as your sit bones. Palms are down on the mat. And we're going to push through the soles of the feet and lift the pelvis up. Good. And gently roll yourself back down, bringing the knees towards the chest. Hug your knees to your chest. Bring your nose towards your knees and curl up into a ball. And release your feet back down. Palms down on the ground. We're going to take it up one more time. Make sure the feet are as wide as the sit bones. Pressing through the feet, lifting the pelvis up. And rolling back down. And bringing the knees towards the chest. Hug them to your chest. Using your abs, bring your nose towards your knees. So if you feel any kind of strain on your neck when you do this, make sure that your abdominals are what's pulling the front of your body up. And release down. We're going to do this one more time. Soles of the feet are flat on the floor, palms are on the ground. Push through the soles of the feet, lift the pelvis up. And gently rolling down, bringing the knees towards the chest. Hug them towards your chest. Use your abs to bring your nose towards your knees. And release down. Good. You're going to just rest in that position for a moment. You can allow your knees to fall together so that they're holding each other up. And just take a few breaths here. You can also make it so that the palms are facing the ceiling. Good, and from here we're going to go into a simple twist. So walk your feet together and allow your knees to fall to the left. Take your arms wide, palms facing the ceiling, and look away from the knees. Keep breathing. Good. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, bring your knees up to neutral. Realign yourself. And then allow your knees to fall the other direction and look away from the knees, reaching the arms long in both directions. Keep breathing slowly and evenly. Inhale, and on an exhale, bring the knees up to center. Very nice. And lengthen out the legs, resting for a moment in Shavasana. Letting everything go. And bringing your awareness back into the room. And moving into happy baby. So remain lying on your back. Take your knees towards your chest and extend the lower legs towards the ceiling, like you could stand on the ceiling. From here, you can take the backs of the thighs and pull the knees towards you. You can take the ankles, if you can reach, or you can take the outsides of the feet. Whichever one you can reach comfortably. The shoulders and the head should remain on the ground. Pulling the knees down by your ribs. Keep the breath moving slowly, evenly, opening up the hips. And gently release the feet. Bring the feet down to the mat. Allow the knees to fall together. Letting everything go. And from here, we're going to roll completely onto one side and press yourself up sideways to sit. Good. Sitting along the length of the mat, we're going to do a forward fold. So sitting up on your sit bones, bend your knees, bringing your heels towards you. Inhale, take your arms over your head, lengthen the crown of your head and your hands towards the ceiling, and exhale, dive, reach your heart towards your toes, folding over the thighs, and you can grab your feet, or you can put your hands underneath your knees and hug your knees. So the trick here is we're trying to lengthen the back. Many times when people try to do a forward fold, they round the back way too much and pull their head down. We want to keep our spine nice and long. So if this is easy for you, you can always extend your legs more and inch your heels away from you. But you want to keep your back in that nice lengthened position. Take one more breath here. And to come out of the pose, you're going to unwind your hands, place them flat on the mat, and support yourself as you come up to sit. Very good. Turning the legs in and out. And from here, we're going to come up to stand. Very good. So let's start with our Warrior Two pose. We're going to do Warrior Two. So take your feet as wide as your wrists. If your hands are out to the side, you want your feet about as wide as your wrists. Hands on the hips. We're going to take our right foot and we're going to turn it out 90 degrees so the toes are facing the short end of the mat. Bend that knee until the knee is directly over the ankle. Very good. The other side, you want that back arch on the ground. So all four corners of the foot are on the ground. Take the hands to the chest and then open the arms long and look over the hand over the bended knee. Reach the crown of the head up to the ceiling. This is a fierce pose that uses our strength. So you want to press your feet into the mat, reach the arms long, reach the crown of the head up, and go to your breath. Good. To come out of the pose, you're going to press through that front leg and you're going to heel toe your feet together. Good. And shake out the legs a little bit. Let everything relax. Good. And then we're going to do the other side. So again, the feet are as wide, about as wide as your wrists. This time we're going to turn the left foot all the way out to the short end of the mat and bend into that left knee until the knee is over the ankle. The back arch of the back foot is on the ground, all four corners of the foot. Take the hands to the chest with the elbows up and lengthen them long. Reach out both hands. Look over the hand, over the bent knee. And reach out all directions, pressing into the ground, reaching out, reaching up. Go to the breath. Good, and to come out of the pose, press through that bottom leg and heel toe your feet together towards each other. And releasing the legs. Very good. Let's do a balancing pose. We're going to do tree pose. So we're going to start with our right foot. And when you want to plant a tree, you got to dig a hole. So dig a hole with the ball of the foot. Place the foot all the way down. And then shift your weight onto the foot. Good. Take your back leg and you're going to place it on the ankle or on the calf or on the upper leg. So the entire sole of the foot is touching the thigh. Nothing is touching the knee though, never on the knee. Open the upper leg to the side. Use your abs, pull towards the spine to keep your spine in neutral. Reach out the crown of your head. Place your hands together in prayer position. And find a focal point. Find something at eye level and gaze at that. If you find yourself losing your balance, press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. If the foot is lower, you can press the foot into the calf and the calf into the foot. When you light up those inner thighs, it'll help you get your balance. Light up the inner thighs, reach out the crown of the head. Good. Gently release the flying leg. And release the hands. Very nice. And the other side. Take your left foot forward, dig a hole with the ball of the foot. Place the foot down into the hole, plant your tree, shift your pelvis forward. And you can take the other leg. It can have the toe on the ground on the ankle. You can be on the calf, or you can be all the way up on the upper thigh, whichever one works for you. Light up those inner thighs. Press the palms together. Lower abs are hugging the spine. Lengthen out the crown of your head. Find a focal point with your eyes and gaze at it at eye level. That'll help keep your spine in neutral. And breathe. And gently release the flying leg. Release the hands. Very nice. Touch the ground. And our last active pose of the day, we're going to do mountain pose, Tadasana. The feet are together, toes are touching, heels are touching. Lower abs are engaged to support the spine. Take your hands, place them in prayer position. And then you're going to take the hands over the head. They're not going to be directly over the head, a little bit forward, so that if you look up with your eyes, you can just see the little fingers. Take your gaze up slightly and close your eyes. Ten more. Good. And gently release the hands and release the feet. And we're going to come to laying on our backs in final relaxation, Shavasana. The feet are as wide as the mat, toes are falling out, arms are in a low V, palms facing the ceiling. Letting everything go. So we come to this pose where we don't have to hold on to anything. The earth is completely supporting us. We've done the work, and now we allow the benefits to accrue in this pose. As much as we exert ourselves, we also have to learn how to relax. After exertion, you should be able to come back down to a relaxed state. And that's why we do relaxations throughout the practice. So try not to skip your relaxations. They're as important as the poses. So in this pose, we're releasing. We're not thinking about the breath. We're just letting everything go. If you fall asleep in this pose, you're doing it perfectly. Relaxing the feet. My feet are relaxed. Relaxing the knees. My knees are relaxed. Relaxing the hips. My hips are relaxed. Relaxing the waist. My waist is relaxed. Relaxing the chest and the shoulders. My chest, my shoulders are relaxed. Relaxing the hands and the arms. My hands, my arms are relaxed. Relaxing the head and the neck. My head, my neck are relaxed. Relaxing the face. Unfurling the brow. Releasing the jaw. letting everything go. Resting completely in Shavasana. And gently bringing your awareness back into the room, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling the wrists, rolling the ankles, and taking your arms overhead in a nice big stretch, stretching to one side and then the other, and rolling completely onto one side. Press yourself up to sit. Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone. Hope you're staying safe and hope to see you again next week. Take care. Namaste.